Yeah, that's it, Neri. We are just sitting here looking at this malachite, and I have to say, this is some of the absolute finest.
It's so beautiful. And I look at yours and look at the sample that I got, and they're identical.
Yeah,
the quality is just superb.
Yeah, we are. Oh, gosh, this is a really precarious time for this gemstone. Why on earth? Oh my gosh. Why on earth we're in the situation we're in with this gemstone, I've got no idea, because, well, no, I do know, but it seems so sad, and I'll kind of expand on that in a couple of seconds. But these 3 strands and this incredible connector, these are the most, I mean, for me, this is like a 12 o'clock masterclass during our birthday celebration. Yeah, the amount of quality you're getting through these gems is quite remarkable. Considering the vast majority of malachite that we see, it doesn't have anywhere near this amount of quality. It really is quite incredible. I'm so excited about this. So we've got a kit, and we've also got some strands, we've got some cabs as well. I can't remember the last time we actually played.
Ooh, I didn't know we had cabs.
Yeah.
And the connector, it's made as a pendant or a connector. It's got a jump ring on it, so you can either use it as a pendant, or it has loads. It's got more than those 2 loops on each side. It's got loops in between as well.
Oh yes, it does.
It's got loads of connect. I mean, I just chose to use mine as a pendant and dangled little seed pearls from it.
Gorgeous.
Because I didn't want to use all the strands in one piece.
No, I respect that. I totally get that. This, so malachite, gosh, well, where do we even start with this gem? This gem has been around for a very, very long time. It's actually first kind of recorded being used, being worn, and people adorning themselves with it right back to the Bronze Age, where people would wear it to warn off black magic, and people would wear it as a protective kind of amulet. But what we've actually got here is are 3 strands of what can only be described as bullseye malachite. Now, a lot of malachite that you actually see looks like this. And I'm just showing, just so you look at that watch face, a lot of malachite that you see looks like this. So you get striations going through the slice of malachite here. And that's perfectly acceptable. It's really, really gorgeous. In actual fact, there are certain painting techniques which a lot of people are employing now in interior design projects, which emulate the striations that you get in malachite. But it's all fake, obviously. But you can get reconstituted malachite. You can get man-made malachite. You can get things which are made to look like malachite, but actually aren't anything like, they're not malachite at all. And when you get the pieces from Van Cleef & Arpels, etc., like the gorgeous kind of clover designs, all of those have got the stripes going through it. Yes. What very few of them have are these incredible bullseye concentric circles. As soon as you get something, I mean, just pick your gem, really, whichever, it doesn't really matter. Pick your gem in any of these. As soon as you get this bullseye, so you get that moment of inception, you get that kind of epicenter from which you get all of the concentric circles. Even if you get a hint of that, all of a sudden it is valued and classified as almost a completely different gemstone. This is where you start to see real value, real rarity. Now, I've got an example of some bullseye malachite pieces. There's a malachite sphere, which was sold at Sotheby's, with an estimate of 3,000 to 5,000 US dollars. That's for a small sphere. There's a piece here, which is a bullseye malachite block. Again, with an estimate of 3,000 to 5,000 US dollars. I mean, you've got multiple bullseyes there. This is incredible.
Perfect example, isn't it?
The only problem is, this piece here is really nice as well. A unique and refined jewel at £280. You get slices of this material, and honestly, it is in a league of its own. It really genuinely is. The problem is this. China and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, a new dynamic in critical mineral procurement. So, the vast majority of malachite that we source comes from the Congo. In fact, that is pretty much the primary source of this incredible gemstone globally. The only deposit in the world that this material is now mined is right in the center of a copper and lithium deposit situated in the heart of the Congo. So the Chinese have come in and are mining this area for copper and lithium. Copper and lithium are hugely valuable resources in the building of everything from mobile phones to electric cars to batteries. This deposit is licensed to a Chinese mineral giant who are prioritizing the extraction of the rare earth minerals, which are valued at billions of dollars. So you have to be sensible about this. We all love genuine gemstones here at the Gemporia Group and JewelleryMaker. We love genuine gemstones, and we know that they have a value, and we can all appreciate that. However, what has a greater value? Is it beautiful gemstones with, which are incredibly rare and stunning, or is it copper and lithium, which are vital for technology and used globally, used worldwide? Not just if you love genuine gemstones, but used by absolutely everyone. The phone that I've got and the electric car battery that you might have, or whatever it might be, they all contain lithium. A lot of them contain copper. What it means is that this main mining location now, we're not mining for malachite anymore. If there's any malachite uncovered, it's a byproduct of the copper and lithium mining industry. Some concentric rough is still saved by the company, but because of the shortage of supply, it's now only available at some of the highest prices in hardstone world. In 2022, this was sold by the kilo. Today, it's sold by the slice. And it's exclusively only available at the elite luxury brands of the world. So I'll show you what that means and what that looks like in a couple of moments. It makes this particular bullseye material more expensive than Paraiba tourmaline. Now, we know Paraiba tourmaline in its absolute best, form, whether it's Windex blue or you prefer the green, can sell for $20,000 a carat. Yeah. The fact that in the last few years alone, so in 2022, so we're talking 4 years ago, this is being sold by the kilo in rough kind of specimens, like I showed you here. That would have been sold as, a rough specimen. That is undoubtedly from the Congo, 100% it'll be from there. And that's how this rough material was sold. And in fact, when we went to the Tucson Gem Show, it must have been about 3-4 years ago, we didn't see any malachite strands. The only malachite that we saw were these kind of rough specimens. Now they're being sold like this. They're being sold by the slice. So to get hold of any of this material now is incredibly expensive. And where it says it's being sold exclusively, only available to the elite luxury brands, these are the kind of pieces we're talking about. So the Piaget ring watch I'm showing you there, that isn't bullseye. This is where we start to see bullseye pieces. And that watch will be worth infinitely more than that watch, because of its bullseye quality. You start to see pieces like this, Piaget malachite gold pendant watch, $54,500. Obviously, it's going to be incredibly limited edition. There's only going to be a few of these made, but you see they've got this bullseye quality to them. And if it's got the bullseye quality, you know it's going to be worth infinitely more. It's valued as almost a completely different gem. It's sold by the slice. It's sold by the slice rather than the rough. You've got watch manufacturers who can afford to buy these by the slice because that's all they need.
Stunning,
they need something which is wafer thin and about the size of a 10p piece. That's all they need. So if they're buying it by the slice, fantastic. What that means for us moving forward, because we don't want it by the slice, because you can't really make a lot of jewelry with the slices, can you? The only way that you can feasibly make, lots of jewelry, and it's going to suit all of our jewelry makers out there, is by the bead. Well, this isn't sliced material. These are beads. This is from those big. Yeah. These are from these big specimens. This is so rare. This is so hard to get hold of now, and it's hard to get a hold of because not because it's completely run out, but because it's no longer being mined, and that's when it starts to get really worrying. Now it's not being mined at all because there are other things which take precedence over. In fact, that's not even a 10p piece size. Look at that Beauvais watch there. That'll be about the size of a 5p piece. Yeah, that's how this material is being sold. That's how this bullseye material is being sold by the slice in the size of a 5p piece. You've got here absolute, unparalleled rarity. This is valued so different to the stripy material. When you've got this moment of inception, this gorgeous bullseye quality, it leaps up in value. Now, we've got less than 50 opportunities, obviously with bullseye